This is the new iPod Touch. And this is also the new iPod Touch. And in 2009, if you said these are both the new iPod Touch, you would actually not be wrong. Because in the most confusing way, Apple actually announced two generations of the iPod Touch at the same time. In this video, we're going to demystify it because it is so confusing. So, okay, just to be clear, the one on the left is an iPod Touch 2nd gen, if I can get the camera to focus. Thank you. And then on the right is the 3rd gen. But let me take you back to the keynote because I might as well show you around. So let me just lock both iPods. So they are identical. So same front, same side, right, with the speaker. Same sleep and wake button on the left side, which is very weird. Same sides here, same design. No change whatsoever. So you'll be hard pressed, and even I'm hard pressed. I actually don't know which is which now. There you go. That's why I set a different paper. It's still that default wallpaper, by the way. It's not the Pebbles. The Pebbles is one of the included wallpapers, but I had to set it because literally I couldn't tell them apart. So I need to take you back because this is the weirdest product announcement of Apple's history, I think, in announcing anything at all. So in 2009, so the iPod Touch 2nd gen has been out for 1 year. And then Phil Schiller came up because Steve Jobs was out on medical leave. He strode out to the stage and he started talking about the iPod Touch at the September 2009 event. This was the music event and it's dedicated to the iPod. He talks about how people are really embracing these as a pocket computer. He's really excited about the fact that a lot of people are playing games and it's a #1 game player, and so it's an ultimate PDA. And that towards the end of that, he said that, well, if we can get the 8GB model from $229 down to $199, it'll be fantastic. But keep in mind, it was the pre-existing 2nd gen model. But then a weird twist, because he said the 3264 gigs will start at the same price. However, they are randomly 50% faster. And so there you go. This is the iPod Touch 3. They are both the new iPod Touch, right, with the same price, but this one is 50% faster. Yet they're both on sale at the same time. This one has a new price. This one has a new chip. And by the way, right, just as earlier, the iPhone 3GS actually got a speed boost twice as fast as the predecessor. So did this. Well, it's not exactly the same chip. Now, just like the iPhone and iPhone 3G and the iPod Touch share the same chip, the 3GS and the 3rd gen, there's no hardware change, but it's just faster. That's how, yeah, that's literally 3rd gen, which is really confusing because you can't really tell it apart. But it does have a faster processor based on the 3GS. But while the 3GS has the older variant, this one has a slightly newer variant. You may be thinking, okay, well, it's basically the identical chip to the 3GS, and it's definitely not faster than the 3GS. It can only be equal or lesser performance because, you know, it's lower in the lineup. What's so special? Because the 3rd gen has a chip that locks you out of downgrading, which means that once you upgrade, right, iOS right now you cannot downgrade. You used to be able to downgrade to whatever version you want. No longer the case here. The 3rd gen. That's right. Once you upgrade, that's it. That's over. You actually cannot downgrade. So it is the very first version of the chip, and it's made possible by the slightly newer edition of the 3GS chip that you cannot downgrade. But, you know, if you have the real 2nd gen, which remember, they're both on sale at the same time, very confusingly, you can downgrade on that, in case if you are wondering. But yeah, there's also, right, the new a new model, technically, but it's still 2nd gen hardware, but it's built differently, and yeah. So that is the very, very confusing story of the 3rd gen. Hardware-wise, basically completely the same. except design-wise completely the same, except for the newer chip. But yeah, very confusingly, the only acknowledgement that this is in anywhere new in hardware is that this is 50% faster to match the 3GS. Yeah, it's very weird. Still no camera, still no nothing. But it does have a microphone. Great, which that one also does. But you wouldn't find out until 3.0 with voice memos. But yeah. This is so weird.